If you end up getting in a crazy argument around this full moon, don't say I didn't tell you so. This full moon itself does not look that bad, but it looks like the events and conversations happening around it could get a little bit chaotic. It's like the main event is fine, but the commentary is just wild. So, if you're excited to find out what this Taurus full moon means for you and for the collective, make sure that you like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you are always up to date with what the stars have in store for you. So, full moons are endings. They are when the sun is opposite the moon, it's the top point of the lunar cycle, and it's the most visibility that the moon has. So, generally, no matter what this full moon specifically means, it is an ending or a culmination. You can always expect that something is going to be coming to a head or kind of exposed as an ending during this time. Given that this is a Taurus full moon, it means the sun is in Scorpio and the moon is opposite that in Taurus. And this is happening on November 5th, 2025 at 5:18 a.m. Pacific time, so morning in the US, no matter where you are, could be later in the day if you are elsewhere in the world, and it is happening with the moon at 13 degrees of Taurus. Now, first and foremost, the moon is exalted in Taurus, meaning that it is in the strongest sign it can be, and it is lifted up to perform very well in that sign. Basically, each planet has a sign that it's exalted in, that it just does really, really well in. So with the moon being our emotions, our feelings, kind of the tides of the given time, Taurus is fixed earth. It's super steady and stable. So automatically, whatever is happening or culminating around this time has an advantage of being something that we are stable and we feel solid in. There's not an element of surprise or volatility to the events of this full moon as a general whole. Whatever's happening or culminating, you are not surprised by it. And this is the first time in like almost a decade that it's been that way with a full moon in Taurus, because for the past 8 or so years, Uranus was in Taurus. So every full moon in Taurus since like 2018 would have just been super volatile and shocking, which is not the nature of an actual full moon in Taurus. So this is kind of a return to form. With this being a Venus-ruled sign, you're probably going to have a better time getting along with others. Relationship stuff is part of the theme here. So again, even with the more difficult things that I'll get into, the basis of this full moon is that the moon is exalted in Taurus, and there is stability there at hand. We're celebrating something we've achieved, and we are emotionally stable in that awareness. Okay, so the alignment of the full moon itself shows stability. You got somewhere, you're happy about it, you're like, I can celebrate this. But there's some things around it that are more challenging. The sun and the moon don't have any hard aspects between them. So again, I keep reiterating this, but I think it's an important distinction to make. The focus of the ending, the focus of the culmination is stable. It's fine. You're probably doing something you enjoy or celebrating that you've gotten to a certain point you're proud of. In fact, there's a ton of positive energy here. The sun is trining Saturn and Neptune in Pisces, and it's trining Jupiter in Cancer. So there's a Grand Water Trine going on, which shows stability, optimism, and creativity. We're both happy with the hard work we did to get here, and we're really excited and motivated to keep going. Now, the actual challenging alignment that does show direct chaos that I do not like is that Mercury and Mars are conjunct in Sagittarius, and they are tightly opposite Uranus in Gemini. So Mercury and Mars together in Sagittarius is already rambunctious, over-the-top, exaggerated, very aggressive communication. Like Mercury and Sag often just rambles and has so much to say. And Mars with Mercury generally shows that there's aggressive or intense communication going on. I need this to go away because people are being so mean and it's not even happening yet and I already just know. And it does not need the opposition to Uranus. It's already heated enough, but an opposition to Uranus shows volatility and chaos. It adds even more of a shock factor. So do not be surprised if things that are said, announced, or conversations during this time are just over-the-top dramatic and trying to shock you when the actual events at hand are not that intense at all. Like the tea you'll hear around this time is probably going to be crazy when the actual events are not that intense. So yeah, don't be surprised if someone just crashes a party or bitches you out or something and it feels totally unwarranted. So if you already have any thoughts or feelings around this full moon that you think could be happening for you in your life, do let me know in a comment below. And now let's get into what this means for each of the rising signs. Taurus rising. This is in your first house of self. The spotlight and awareness are about you. You're getting attention or recognition for something that you have done or are being appreciated for. Gemini rising. This is in your 12th house. This is likely showing that you are cutting out bad habits or having a realization that you need to finish something that is a net negative in your life and you're just like, good riddance. Cancer rising. This is in your 11th house of friends and networking. So you're likely, honestly, to just have some kind of a party or get together that feels like a celebration of something you've completed. Leo rising. This is in your 10th house of career. So it could either be that you are leaving a job or finishing up a chapter of employment, or you're putting something out there that you've worked on in your job and getting recognition. Virgo rising. This is in your 9th house of long-distance travel or higher education. You're probably either finishing up a trip or you are graduating or finishing some kind of educational course. Libra rising. This is in your 8th house of shared finances. This could be that you are selling an asset or ending a dependence on someone, or it could be that you're finally paying off loans or debts and finishing that connection. Scorpio rising. This is in your 7th house of partnerships. A major culmination is happening with a key person in your life. This could be a stable, expected ending or a decision to make things official and celebrate your connection. Sagittarius rising. This is in your 6th house of work and daily routines. You're likely finishing a big project at your job or finally reaching a health or wellness goal you've been working toward. Feels good to be done. Capricorn rising. This is in your 5th house of creativity and fun. A creative project you've poured your heart into is finally complete and ready to share. Or this could be a celebratory moment in your love life. Aquarius rising. This is in your 4th house of home and family. You could be finishing a move, or a long-running family situation comes to a stable and peaceful conclusion. It's about feeling secure in your foundation. Pisces rising. This is in your 3rd house of communication. You're likely wrapping up an important contract or conversation, or it might be the culmination of a local project or something involving a sibling that ends on a good note. So this full moon on November 5th is really about a stable, positive culmination. It's a moment where you get to look at something you've built, something you've worked for, and feel a sense of security and pride. The core energy is grounded, happy, and successful. The chaos isn't coming from the main event. It's coming from the sidelines. The chatter, the arguments, the dramatic announcements, that's the Mercury, Mars, Uranus mess. So my advice is to focus on your achievement, enjoy the feeling of stability, and try not to get dragged into any unnecessary drama or arguments that pop up. The core of this is good. The conversations around it might just be a little crazy. So I hope that you enjoyed this and that you have a good full moon. If you have any comments about this, please do leave them down below. I'm interested to see how you're feeling and what you're expecting. And take care, and I'll see you in the next one.